Okay, all right, and then in that case, I will call this special meeting of the Board of Selectmen to order at 6:05 PM. Today is June 13th, 2022. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First order of business is consideration of the minutes of the meeting of June 7th, 2022. I'll entertain a motion to accept.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any changes, any comments, corrections? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye, that carries. The motion carries. Item number 3, consideration of Beer Fest. This is the annual event hosted by the Bethel Chamber of Commerce. Been run very successfully for many years. You have a copy of the application to the Parks and Rec Department in your packet. So I'm going to put a motion on the floor that we approve the use of the facilities at the Municipal Center for Beer Fest, subject to submission of proper insurance and submission of hiring of police officers as required by town policy.
Confirmation of it.
What's that?
The confirmation of it.
Yeah. So is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Just on the application, I think Eileen wrote that she wants a map.
I'm sorry?
I think she said that she wants a map.
Oh, yeah.
Eileen?
Yep. Yeah, okay, yeah, so I'll amend the motion to say subject to all provisions as requested by Park and Rec as well. Okay, any other questions? Hearing none, those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries unanimously. So moving on to item number 4, consideration of recommendation from Bethel Public Site and Building concerning the firing range. The reason we are here, and unfortunately, we just got some bad news about 5 minutes ago. Roy, thank you very much for joining us. Can you hear us
Hi.
okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. For some reason, I was thinking it was 7 o'clock, so I apologize.
Yeah, this time of year, it's late. That doesn't look like it's that late.
Yeah, I wanted to get a bike ride in too.
So the reason we were here, we did deal with this at the last meeting, but there was a question as to the other costs involved, the other factors that might or might not push the total price past $1 million. It almost certainly is going to go over that now, because what has happened is it turns out that the bid that we were considering last week had already expired, and we are already subject to a price increase. So the price for the action target material is going to go up. It was, let me just for the record look this up. It was $775,350 for the action target, which is what is recommended by both the police department and the Public Site and Building Committee. The new price, which can only be held till July 13th, is $820,380.
Yeah.
So, for purposes of discussion, I'm going to go ahead and put a motion on the floor, for a vote tonight, because we should have a motion in order to discuss and debate the issue. But I'm going to put a motion on the floor that we approve an amount not to exceed $820,380,000 for action target firing range equipment, not including other costs of installation. This is just for just to secure the equipment itself, subject to final review by town attorney. Is there a second?
Second for discussion.
Okay. So I was not expecting this news. I don't think any of us were. Roy, you can comment on this if you would care to. However, given the supply chain issues that are rampant throughout the world, it doesn't seem to me that we're going to see a price decrease after July 13th, and nor are we going to see any increase in availability.
Right.
So the question we have before us is, do we move ahead with this now? It seems to me that we should, but Roy, I'd like to turn the floor over to you.
Uh, Thank you, Matt. And again, I apologize. So, this is new news to me also, because I just saw it with Geraldine's email to me also. So, and not totally surprised either, Matt. So I am concerned as far as it going over the $1 million part also, mainly because we haven't gotten back the final designs and what have you for the couple rooms that have HVAC requirements, et cetera, that have to be done. So I think it's pretty likely it will break the $1 million mark. And, I apologize on that. I'm not too sure what else we can do at this point, but we're kind of waiting for the final designs. I think we're very comfortable with Action Target, though. I think that end of it we're comfortable with. So.
Roy, is there a number, I mean, just based on the scope of work that you would feel comfortable with, whether it's 300,000, 400,000, and that way we can move ahead and really get all rolling by saying, hey, look, project not to exceed 1.2 million. And if it comes in under, great.
Yeah.
But is there a number that you're comfortable with? Because my fear is,
I know.
we're going to approve to buy this, and then something else is going to happen. And, when we should have gone to referendum. I mean, that's my fear is that, I don't want to.
Well, I'm going to ask Marty to weigh in on this, because Marty and I talked about it. We can still go to referendum regardless. It doesn't matter. The problem we have is what I was trying to do with this special meeting, and as it turned, again, even though we met last week, it was apparently it was already too late because this bid had expired. We would have been here anyway. But if we don't lock this in, it doesn't matter when we have a referendum, we're going to be chasing this number because they're unable to hold the price.
Right.
Marty, do you want to, you're on mute right now, but do you want to, fill in on that? Because you and I spoke about that the other day.
Yeah, you can go ahead and move forward on the bid, on the cost of the equipment, the HVAC and the target equipment now. And then if you wanted to, for the balance of the monies, you could go to a referendum at a later date. In other words, go for a town meeting now, but a referendum for the rest of the monies at a later date. The problem is, and there's always a problem, you run the risk that at the referendum, if they turn down the $200,000, you may be stuck now with a $700,000, $800,000 piece of equipment that, we're going to have a problem going forward with. We're going to have the equipment, it's going to be sitting on the side of the building. But other than that, you could certainly try and do it that way. I mean, my feeling is that if you're going to get a town meeting and they're going to go ahead and spend $820,000 for the equipment, I would assume that those same people that are going to show up at the town meeting, if you went to a referendum after that, they're going to vote for it. I mean, that's my assumption, but you never know. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no reason why you can't do that, though. Pass it on to the Board of Finance now and set up a town meeting for the equipment and just explain it to everybody what's the reason why you're doing it. But even then, I'm sorry, I can't see what's the date, Matt, that you said July 13th?
Yeah, July 13th is the cutoff for this price.
Yeah.
So there's no way we could get a town meeting and a referendum within that time frame. But on the other hand,
This is the
let's say for some reason the town meeting turned it down. The supply chain is so long. I don't see why. It's not like if we place an order and we approve this tonight, the stuff is going to be on a truck next Monday. It's going to take weeks for it. So I think we would have time to negotiate a cancellation or a delay.
Well, that's what I was going to say, that what happens if you want to back out of it, or how much money do you have to put up front to get everything started too? Maybe what, I don't even like suggesting this, but maybe you could just simply put a penalty clause in there that if we don't get all our ducks lined up by a certain date, that we can forfeit that money. I mean, I don't like doing that because it's not our money. And if we do that, we got to tell the townspeople that, and then you may run a problem that they won't want to do it.
Mhm.
It's like a contingency, and I'm not sure that a lot of people would say, well, no.
Well, it seems to me that eventually we're going to fill up this, we've constructed a building that has a training range.
Right.
We're not going to let it sit vacant like we did with the library for 10 years. We're going to get through this one way or the other. So before it gets more expensive, I think we should just move forward with it.
Yeah, and Matt, along that line, the equipment that they have does take care of everything in that area, HVAC, everything. So, what we're not accomplishing is the couple rooms kind of, right as you come in there. So, the value of the equipment is never, in my mind, is not going to go down. We're gonna need that equipment no matter how you do that. So,
Yeah.
Well, to Marty's point, if we went to schedule a town meeting and if you have a favorable outcome of the town meeting, and then it gives you an idea of how a referendum would go.
Mhm.
right.
That's
I mean,
true.
you're taking that chance, but
Yeah, that's what I said. It's always.
yeah,
rolling
that's what.
dice,
That's
you
just
know?
creative.
But I also think that if you tell people, we need to get this done and we're trying to freeze the price, otherwise we're going to have a problem. It's going to
Right.
continue to go up, that a lot of them probably would agree with that, said, okay, let's see what we got to do here.
I agree with you, Marty. And, our problem on the building committee, it's hard. Kohler Ronan is doing some of the final designs and the HVAC equipment on the additional rooms and the integration. So we don't have some of these items, and, I'm hoping they get this stuff together very quickly, but it's going to take a little bit of time to price out all that equipment also. So, I can see that month going away very quickly.
Well, my last comment is, if you're going to do something like this, the Board of Selectmen has to be prepared to say why they're pushing this thing through. Why didn't they wait? Why didn't they get this done before? Somebody's going to bring that up. So you better be prepared to give them a very good explanation as to why, at this point in the game, we're that far behind.
Oh, well, yeah, we've got chapter and verse documented on that as to why we're here. That might not be a great explanation in some people's minds, but it can be explained.
Agreed.
Marty, do you think, would it make sense before we push this to a town meeting to talk to the vendor and ask what a cancellation fee would look like, just in case it did go down, so we know, maybe they'd say, look, or can we purchase an extension? Hey, if we're willing to pay 20,000, could you give us an extension to September 1st? That way we're safe. And, I think we could explain that to the taxpayer, saying, listen, yeah, we're risking 20,000 that we may lose, but it's a much smaller risk than risking 800,000 if the taxpayers say no to the next phase of the project. So
I'm sure, I think you're right, Brian, that I think you can come back and you can ask them, listen, here's what our situation is. And, you need to help us out a little bit too, would you agree to this? Like I said before, like a penalty clause, that if we can't,
the 20,000 or something, that way we're covered. And like I said, I don't think this is gonna have any problem passing a referendum. I really don't. I don't see it being an issue, but at least we're keeping the process intact and we're saying, this is the process as is. And we can schedule a meeting next week if they say, sure, it's 20 grand or whatever the number is. And then we could do a meeting next week and we could say, well, we have a little bit of time to get the numbers from Roy, and then we could do a total package.
Right.
Just get it right through referendum.
Right.
One time, I agree. That's what I'd love to have some of these numbers that, farther along than what we are in the total package.
Okay, well, I'm gonna amend my motion then and note that we are approving an amount not to exceed 820,380, subject to review and possible modification by the town attorney to negotiate either an extension or a cancellation clause.
Good.
And I also wanted to add that our recommendation to the Board of Finance is that this come from fund balance. But it is at the Board of Finance's discretion as to CNR fund balance, but we're recommending fund balance, which is at a level of, I think Brad said 23% right now, which it should be utilized for capital projects.
Mhm.
Okay, so did you second that again?
Yeah. I'll second.
Okay. All right.
Before you vote, I know you
Yeah.
got the motion on the floor. Can I just make one other comment?
Sure.
Are you all comfortable with the amount that's down there for the contingency? If you see what they've got is they've got 10% only of the non-equipment.
No,
I have no idea what's going to happen with this company, whether, I don't know. I mean, they could come in at a later date maybe and say that this didn't fit the pattern of what they had and, it's not done the way it's supposed to be. It's going to cost another. I have no idea. I'm just saying.
I know we don't want to have another special meeting.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a pretty big number. Maybe
Yeah.
we let Marty call the company directly.
Sure.
Explain our process, Marty, and maybe you could negotiate a cancellation fee. Just explain, look, we need to go to referendum. We know this is over $1 million.
Yeah.
We need this quote to be good until when's the earliest we could have a referendum? August? Is that possible?
July. No,
It'll
July.
be end of July, probably.
Yeah,
We got a referendum done in July, you think?
So end of July.
and
So I mean,
Not by the 13th. That's
right, but what I'm saying is, if we're saying, look, we need, 17 days, give us 17 more days. What's that worth to you to give us 17 days and clear this up? And then Roy, the building site committee, could really put pressure on our other people saying, look, we need these
Yes.
numbers.
Yep.
Now, we can come up with a total package to go to referendum and, do it right. And that way we don't have any stress. We're doing everything the right way. I'm fine coming back on Thursday or however long it takes for Marty to speak to this company and get some answers for us. I'd be fine with that.
I would too, but what I'd like to approve this for tonight, and if he has to come back to us.
Yeah, but once we approved it, we've approved it. And he just.
No,
said
no,
there's a
what I'm saying
10%.
is, if he has to come back to us and say, okay, I negotiated this, but we got to move the price up by 20,000 or whatever. But because I don't want to wait, I don't want to any more, the clock is ticking as it is. I don't want any more time to go by. If for some reason we can't get together or something, if we can go up to 820 and Marty can work within that number, then I would rather proceed and schedule a date for a town meeting, which I think the earliest we could do would probably be the 28th of June.
Again, my concern is though, as Roy is saying, he doesn't even know where the HVAC is gonna come in
that's,
on the other side. And that's,
that's got my concerns, Matt.
Well, then if we have to take it apart again, but the problem is we're gonna keep this ball or the goal line is gonna keep moving.
Right, which escalates the numbers again.
That's right. I mean, I'm kind of upset that we didn't know that this thing had an expiration date of May 25th when we met a week ago on the 7th.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how that happened, that we've already crossed one deadline, but I don't want to, there's so many moving parts in what we have to, that anything could knock this off course. What I want to do is, if it's possible, I want to lock this in so it doesn't move again. And then again, if Marty comes back and says we can, they'll hold the price of 830, but they need another $10,000 or whatever it is to extend it, then we can have a special meeting to do that. But I want to at least get this approved so that we've got that part locked up, maybe.
Well,
Knowing that there's some risk.
do you want to add 10,000 to it?
well, I mean, I'm available Thursday. I don't know if you guys are available Thursday. If Marty could call the company tomorrow.
We
and answer
have
some of these-
a PUC meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the big issue is there's a lot of what ifs here that, and I understand we're all in support of the project. And if the project costs more, it costs more, but I'd rather do it right and according to charter and with less risk to the town, because like I said, what do we do if the other HVAC guys come in with a number of 300,000?
We have to come back and have a town meeting.
But what happens if the town said no at that point? And we have the opportunity just to let Marty talk to the company. We need just this little more amount of time. I'm sure they could give them an answer really quick. And that way we've covered all our bases and our obligations to the town. Again, I'm in support of the project. I have no issue with the project. I just want to do it right. I don't want,
Well, we're not doing it wrong. I mean, there's no danger of us doing it wrong.
the danger is if the other moving parts become so astronomical and that the town says no, then what do you do with all the equipment?
We're not gonna, that's the thing, is we're not gonna have the equipment. The supply chain is what,
But we're agreeing to purchase it. If we don't know what our out is, and they say, well, you have no out, you owe us 825,000. Then what do we do?
except we're not gonna do that because Marty's gotta negotiate that agreement first. We just said, we're negotiate an escape clause for us.
And if the escape clause isn't acceptable to us, then we pull it off the table.
Yeah.
So
I
why
mean-
don't we just amend the motion to that and we can move forward?
It's already in the
It's
motion.
already in the motion. I already put in there, subject to town attorney review and subject to town attorney negotiating either an extension or an escape clause that's acceptable to us. I'm not gonna sign it. Just because we vote tonight, it doesn't make a contract. That I'm not gonna sign it until those things are tied up.
Roy, can you try and push the other numbers through for
I
it?
will. Yeah, absolutely. I'll push that as hard as I can here.
Thanks, Roy.
Okay, all right. So any other comments?
No.
Okay,
Well, just my comment was, did you want to add 20, a number for the clause in this number?
no, because I don't, but
Want to put it
I,
out there? Well, you don't want to put a number out there and they figure it out. That's
yeah,
okay.
right,
Maybe they'll be reasonable. They'll say, we'll give you till
yeah,
Yeah,
August 1st, that it's really not 14 days, that, it's a big project. And
yeah,
we understand you have to send it to referendum and stuff. And I mean, we're really not asking for that many days.
that's true.
We're asking for 17 days. And if we explain the referendum process and that we're committed to the project, I think there'll be, my experience dealing with vendors when I was in municipal government, and even as the bank now, they're always, especially with big numbers like that, there's some wiggle room here.
But when are you saying that we can put a referendum together?
They said by the end of July.
End of July, first week of August.
That's more than 17 days.
after the 13th.
July 13th.
Oh, I see.
Good till.
I got you.
So if they gave us 18 days, that gives us to August 1st. If we
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
go a little bit
Okay.
further, ask for
Yeah.
25 days, whatever, and
Yeah,
then we're
I
covered.
forgot.
Basically, we've got 6 weeks right now, like 6.5.
I mean, we're
Right.
committed to the project, but they have to understand we're a municipal government and that we can't
Yeah,
just
they
do
gotta
things
know
like
that.
a private contractor does.
Okay.
All right, any other comments? All right, hearing none, I'll try your minds. Those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Great, thank you very much. And Roy, thank you.
Matt,
Yeah,
Matt,
thank you.
Yeah,
Matt, you didn't approve the regular minutes from June 7th.
did, yes.
You did?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you know what? I was trying to share the screen while y'all were doing that. Never mind.
Okay, all right, no problem.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't have this on the agenda. Marty, I can't, never mind.
Okay,
We've
thank
got,
you.
all
Thank-
right, yeah,
thank
we
you a lot, Matt.
we may have to set up a town meeting date, but we'll do that next time. All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Those in favor? Aye, that carries unanimously. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Marty.
everyone.
Thank you, Roy.
Yep.
Thank you,
I
Dion.
apologize.
Thanks.
Yep, thanks
See
a
you
lot.
later.
That's all right.
We got a hold of you.
Bye.
Bye.